Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7 of the Why Orillia show. Today I am joined with my guest, Erin Watson from Watson Law. Erin, thank you for being on the show. I know this is a little out of your comfort level, but I think that it was, important to get the people of Orillia to know who you are and what you do. So in your own words, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm Erin Watson. I have Erin Watson Law. We're a law firm that specializes in real estate, wills, estates. I took over the practice from a longtime lawyer here in Orillia, and I'm delighted to be here.
Great. So I know that I've, personally and professionally dealt with your firm a few times, but I know that beyond real estate, you guys do quite a bit. What are some of the services that you guys offer the people of Orillia?
So primarily our focus is on real estate, residential real estate primarily, buying and selling. We also focus on estate work, so assisting families either planning the wills and powers of attorney portion, or estates, which we assist families once somebody has passed, get through that process.
Great.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to have you on this show is we've talked a little bit about it just sort of in passing, and you've got what I would consider to be a fascinating story with Orillia. And this is not a show just about people who have been born and raised and lived their entire life in Orillia, but some of the people who have come to Orillia from other places, and they've brought with them all of the great things that they've experienced and learned throughout their journey before they came to Orillia. Tell me a little bit about your journey, where you're from, how you came to Orillia, how long you've been here. What's your journey to Orillia been like?
I'm sort of an accidental Orillian, I would say. I was raised in Markham when it was still very small, mostly farm country at that point. I moved around a little bit just with university and that type of thing, ultimately settled in Burlington. My husband and I settled in Burlington. And it was sort of a halfway point between his work and my work in downtown Toronto. I was working, he was out in Haldimand County. And we moved to North Bay because of my husband's work. That was entertaining. We were there for 2.5, 3 years. And he was promoted again, and we found ourselves in Orillia. It was intended to be a temporary spot for us. We wanted to move back to the Burlington area. And within a few weeks, we decided we absolutely loved it here. We wanted to raise our family here. And so here we are. So that was 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no intentions on leaving?
No.
No,
I bought a law practice. No, not leaving.
It's a hard place to leave, and everybody who leaves seems to find themselves coming back, which is a trend that I'm seeing more and more of, especially as I get in conversations with people who have left. People love, and I think it's a natural thing, people love generally to moan and groan about things they wish council and the city as a whole would do a better job of. But the city has done an amazing job of bringing industry and bringing work to Orillia.
Yeah.
So people no longer have to leave. Even as far back as 2007, when I graduated high school.
Way back then.
Way back in 2007. There wasn't the same opportunity that there is now. And so I had, like a lot of young people, I had these grandiose dreams of what I wanted my life to look like. And to get that, I had to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
And I got to Toronto and I started missing the parks, and I missed the water, and I missed the trees, and I missed the people.
Yeah.
And there was this hustle and bustle of no personality, no community, and I didn't feel like I was a part of anything. And ultimately, it took sort of this crisis in my life to bring me back to Orillia, where I had all of that again and, wouldn't trade it for anything at this point. So moving forward, I wanted to address a couple sort of topics with you. First of all, we do this rapid fire style thing. So just a couple quick questions with hopefully quick answers. Favorite part of Orillia?
The community.
Least favorite part of Orillia?
I'm not sure I have an answer for that.
That's
to
okay.
be honest.
Yeah.
I think the community has done a great job bringing people in and bringing people back and that's really exciting for me. So I don't think I have a least favorite part. Maybe I haven't been here long enough. I'm not sure.
No, I you know what? It's a question that I've been asking a few people on this show, and it's something that people struggle with because there's not a lot missing here. There really isn't an answer to that question. Yeah. I'm just trying maybe to bring a little controversy into the show.
Can't help you with controversy.
If there is one thing that the average Joe, from a legal perspective, doesn't do right over the course of their lifetime, what is it?
I think a lot of people don't get their estate planning done early enough. It needs to be done. It really needs to be done. I'd like to see everybody having a will.
Right.
If you're over 18.
Get a will if you're over 18.
Yeah, and you know, I think there's a misconception that a will is more important than, say, powers of attorney.
Right.
So your powers of attorney operate while you're alive. That needs to be done. That's more important because they operate while you're alive, but not capable of acting for yourself. And so I think those are very important documents to have.
If there is one legal myth that you would like to bust on this show, what would that myth be?
I think a lot of people are intimidated coming into a lawyer's office. They very often come to a lawyer's office because there's something going on in their life that's stressful.
Right.
And what I would like to say is not all lawyers are intimidating. We're really here to help.
Right.
We're really here to help you through. And one of the things, you may ask this, but one of the things people may not know about me and how I came to this practice is that my predecessor, Bill Holdsworth, was my lawyer.
Really?
Yes. And I was so impressed with him and with his people, his colleagues, the staff in this office. You probably won't remember this. Do you remember Remington? No, you won't.
I don't.
You
now you're
alive.
putting me on the spot.
You weren't alive. Yeah, see, I'm putting you on the spot. There was an old advert, it was 1970s, late 70s maybe, where the man who got his first Remington shaver and was so impressed with the product, he bought the company. That's sort of like me.
Interesting. I didn't know that story.
So I was so impressed coming in here that I wanted to work here. I wanted to work with these people because they seem to be an extension of the community. They treat each other like a family, and they've brought me in as a member of that family, which is wonderful. But that extends to our clients. We know that people come here because they're going through something, whether it's buying a house, whether it's selling a house, whether it's because they've lost a loved one, whether it's because they want to plan for their loved ones. They're coming in here with an issue. And we want to extend that same sort of family connection to our clients.
Right. And that's certainly something that I've felt being in this office. And I wouldn't have said that I felt intimidated coming in here because of that atmosphere. And I've appreciated that, and I'm sure all of your clients do. So the final question that I ask everybody on this show, it's the name of the show, why Orillia? I know that you've touched on some of your favorite parts of Orillia already, but ultimately, this is a free world. You're a successful lawyer. You could theoretically live anywhere in the world, and you could pick up and leave. What is it about Orillia that keeps you here and keeps you loving it?
It's the community. There's a real sense of community, and it brings me back to my roots in Markham when I grew up. That doesn't exist in very many places anymore. People know each other, they care about each other, and that comes through. Everybody knows somebody else.
Right.
And I really like that. I think it's the strength of this area. I think it's the strength of Orillia. And it's close enough to everything that you can get everywhere, but there's still that core.
Yeah.
Which is
fantastic. If you want lakes and cottage country, we have it.
We have lakes.
If you want the big city, we're not far. If you need something, if there's a store that isn't here, it's not more usually than 20, 30 minutes away. and you can really have it all here. So Erin, thank you so much for being on this. If you could tell this camera right here how people can get in contact with you should they decide to have you be their lawyer, how can they get a hold of you?
Best way to contact us is by telephone, 705-325-4411.